So, Nintendo just dropped a bombshell, and that bombshell is that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Great Mother of Chrome, the legend of potentially the greatest Nintendo game ever made, and people, if it's potentially one of the greatest Nintendo games ever made, then it's potentially going to be one of the greatest games ever made. Yeah, that's right. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is getting DLC, Season Pass, Expansion Pass, whatever you want to call it. Breath of the Wild is getting extra content, and I for one think this is glorious. Why? Because Nintendo, during the Wii U, began to show that those evergreen Nintendo games we've all loved and played for years can become even more evergreen when they get delicious extra content. Content that is beautifully executed and not only adds to the games that were already rife with great content, but ensures that you will be playing those games through the entirety of the console's lifespan and beyond. I for one think this is great. Now, you're going to get some people jumping on a hate train. You know, Nintendo's done this, Nintendo's not done that, blah blah, but listen. I think we can all agree that the Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, is going to be a substantial game in itself from launch. And this DLC isn't dropping on launch day, something that I personally dislike when DLC drops on day one. This DLC is dropping in two parts, one in the summer of 2017 and the other in the winter of 2017. Nicely spaced out to ensure that the huge world of Hyrule continues to be explored, not just weeks after launch, but through the entire year and beyond. DLC isn't new, and many companies have produced some great DLC in the past. Mass Effect and The Witcher 3 spring to mind of late. So, there's no harm in Nintendo offering something for their franchises. Remember when the DLC dropped for Mario Kart 8? Oh, man, it was so good that you had people begging for more. Not begging for Mario Kart 9, but begging for more Mario Kart 8 DLC. And that's because the main game itself was, for me, near perfect, and the DLC matched it. Then you had other games that received DLC or were serviced extremely well, like Super Smash Bros. U, Hyrule Warriors, Pikmin 3, Super Mario Maker, and Splatoon. Splatoon being a showcase of how you consistently service a game by dropping content every single week for 6 months straight. So, what do we get? If you buy this DLC at launch for £17.99 UK or $19.99 US, at launch from the 3rd of March, you're given some simple additional things like extra hidden treasure chests around the world, some useful items, and additional exclusive outfits, which sounds like normal DLC to me these days. But the better, more interesting stuff comes later on, where in summer you will get a new Cave of Trials full of challenges, a new hard mode, which many might complain about. Personally, I'm not bothered, but understand if some are. I guess you have to remember that Zelda games are no stranger to this. If you remember the Master Quests, etc., being sold separately, and also part of this summer DLC, it also mentions that you will get additional map feature or whatever that means. Then the second part is the most exciting for me. You will get new original story content, a new dungeon, and additional challenges. This is something I feel has come at the right time for the Zelda series, a time where it's stepping out into the open, shouted to the world once again that this is a legendary franchise that no other company has been able to replicate successfully in my eyes. To have this huge world and to leave it as it is, in my eyes, would be somewhat of a waste, I suppose, much like many other games. Giving players additional content in a world like this new Hyrule will continue to make this game as evergreen as many other Nintendo titles. Those type of games that you can keep going back to and smile at every time you play it. This I find to be an exciting direction for many of Nintendo's IPs. They've shown that they can do it in the past, and I look forward to them trying again in the future now. Still, slightly nervous, of course, but excited. Just imagine how they could keep on expanding Hyrule with this new, Zelda title. March the 3rd can't come sooner.